Understanding semantic meanings and how they change over time allows ideas to be communicated. The more complex an idea or language, the more difficult it is to communicate without semantic disagreements. I travel a lot and interact with people from communities on every continent on the planet. I've experienced countless examples of semantic misunderstandings with members of my community and the communities that I visit. I see semantic disagreements the most in children. Having a daughter that is about to turn 5, I have the responsibility of providing her with an understanding of how to use words to communicate every time I speak in front of her. She uses her observations of family communication and the communication she has with her peers to create her own voice. Our daughter will absorb so much while spending a few hours, let alone days, with relatives or friends with children a few years older than herself. Every day, she improves her understanding of words and increases her ability to effectively be understood by those around her. Misunderstandings that can lead to an emotional meltdown still happen, but continue to be less frequent. We're currently working on left and right when she's putting on clothes, shoes, or picking out a movie on her tablet that isn't an iPad because her friend has a tablet and no one other than her parents calls them iPads anymore. She also seems to struggle with the concept of hot and cold in relation to temperature. My daughter thinks there is just burning hot or safe cold water that she can put her hands into. She knows she likes warm water, but doesn't understand you have to mix the hot water handle with the cold water handle to make it warm. I moved to Missouri from California in 2011. When I moved to Missouri, I quickly learned that I had an accent. I learned to correctly pronounce certain words like Gravois and Shoto. I began to understand that people ask, which high school did you go to, in order to judge your religion or socioeconomic status rather than trying to determine if you may know some of the same people through mutual friends. Having visited Ted Drew's, I know that custard and ice cream are not the same thing. I still haven't figured out why, but people in Missouri don't like it when you call custard ice cream. When you ask why their pizza doesn't have any crust, or forget to pronounce the R in washing your hands. Shortly after I moved here, I responded to a truck for sale ad on the internet. I asked for an address to put in my GPS, and the guy I was meeting said the GPS didn't work at his farm and told me to meet him at the intersection of Highway 37 and Highway W. Growing up in California, we don't have highways with letters, and writing down the directions is Highway W, letter W, and 37 instead of UU or W and 37 made me drive a few hours in the wrong direction, as there was in fact a highway letter W and 37 intersection a few counties away. After a few phone calls of us angrily accusing each other of not being at the intersection of Highway 37 and W, we finally realized the error of our mistake, and the guy called me a real dumb Californian. Needless to say, he ended up selling the truck to somebody else. This past week, I had dinner at a Shanghai-style restaurant. Our friends that we dined with were native Mandarin speakers, and the restaurant staff did not speak English. When asked if we wanted our food spicy or not, we asked through our friend's interpretation on a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is it? And they said a 1. In order to truly understand the answer to this question, it would require the cook, the person taking our order, our friend the interpreter, and ourselves all having the same similar perception of how spicy or hot the food is. My friend told me the waiter said, do not eat the peppers. They are far too spicy when they serve the dish. Thought if they would go to the trouble of putting peppers in the sauce and the food, everything, they're all mixed everywhere, surely they would want me to eat them. And chalked it up as a translation error. An error it was not. It was some of the spiciest cold food dish I have ever ate. Those are some of my examples of, semantic misunderstandings or disagreements. And, I really enjoyed the course this semester. So thank you.